Hello, in this video I would like to talk about Aquarius. I am an Aquarius and I am going to give you my opinion on this zodiac sign. Before of that, I just want to make a little disclaimer or just tell you that I am not someone who is into the astrology. I am not someone who knows about other zodiac signs, so I only know about my zodiac sign, and I am open-minded to the possibility that all of this is just a product of our imagination and there is not such thing. But in my opinion, in my experience, there is something about this zodiac signs, at least it seems to be, so yeah. I am going to tell you my experience as being Aquarius and also seeing some characteristic traits on my friends who are Aquarius or some people who are famous and so on. So the first thing, they say that Aquarius is very intelligent. The second thing, they say that Aquarius is very independent, and maybe other thing that Aquarius is in some way cold or emotionally detached, or not sharing the emotions and things like this. Okay, so we can start with the first one, and that's intelligence. You can read when you type like who is the most intelligent zodiac. Very often the first one is going to be Aquarius. But from my perspective, it's like, it's not in an egoic way that someone say that Aquarius is more intelligent than Libra, because first of all, this is in a general. Second of all, there are, geniuses in the world like Einstein or Newton or many scientists and so on, and they were not Aquariuses, so yeah. And also, in my opinion, it's like, you may have a zodiac which is most peaceful, or you may have zodiac which is most extroverted, or you may have zodiac which is most successful. You may have zodiac which has most friends. You may have zodiac which have this and that and so on. So for me, it's like there are many traits which are in some way equally important. And when someone say that Aquarius is one of the most intelligent zodiac sign, it may be the true, but at the same time, Aquarius may be not the most extroverted, Aquarius may not have most friends, Aquarius may not be this and that, and so on. So yeah, these characteristic traits of being intelligent, it's hard to say, I am someone who I consider myself to be intelligent, maybe very intelligent, but at the same time very stupid, because I love to, watch videos about the science. I love to make a bigger picture about the universe, from many perspectives, from spiritual perspective, meditation, quantum physics, evolution, and things of this nature. And I love to study, but at the same time, I feel really insecure about being stupid because I don't know so many things, and also I don't know many things that my friends know, but I know things that my friends do not know, So for example, I don't know many actors because I don't watch movies, and when I watch movies, I don't put an attention like who is the actor and so on. I love the rap music and I don't listen other type of music, and I feel insecure when I don't know some famous singers, when I don't know some famous actors. I am not much into the cars, so I cannot have a 5-hour conversation about the car with someone, and I feel really insecure of being stupid, so those are like two things that in some way I feel to be intelligent in like problem solving and seeing bigger picture, or when I read JavaScript code, or when I was learning Spanish or something, but also I can feel really insecure, and yeah. I saw this little trait on one of my friend who was Aquarius, that he was really intelligent. He knew so many things, but he was kind of afraid of learning a little thing, My friend, he lost his driving license because of the alcohol, and he was not willing to learn. He was maybe 40 years old. He was not willing to learn how to use applications like Bolt, or you may have something different, but application for a taxi, because for him it was too complicated. And I was like, you just have the app, you just write where you want to go, and you just type order, and that's it. And and he was someone who knew so many things. He knew about like building houses, he knew how cars works, he was able to repair the car, he knew so many things, but he was like unwilling to learn some little application with 3 clicks because it was too complicated. so yeah. The next thing that people talk about the Aquarius is that they love freedom and they are most independent zodiac. This is for me hard to say because who doesn't love freedom, Who doesn't want to be independent? But yeah, I love freedom. I love to be independent. I love to be able to think, to do things on my own. But this is something which I don't have that much in my experience, like seeing this especially on the Aquarius and not on the other zodiac signs, because for me it's like there are exceptions, but most of us, we want freedom. Most of us, we want to be independent. So it doesn't like matter what zodiac sign you are. Okay. The next thing is that Aquarius is considered to be cold or emotionally detached, or things of this nature. And there may be some kind of truth. For example, once I was reading on Reddit about Aquarius, and some girl wrote about her friends, like also girls, and she said that they were really good friends, but it always seemed that there is some kind of barrier, something that you cannot cross, that Aquarius don't allow you to come close enough, that he allows you to, be around him and so on, but he is not going to open your heart to you that easily. And I would say that this may be true, but this is also something that, may not be only about Aquarius, but people in general, we may be afraid of opening up to people. But I have this in my experience many times when I was in a new place, new group of people. I was able to communicate with people and things of this nature, but not many times I made deep friendships. I was like, okay, when we are here, when I am, for example, I was studying graphic design and I had some courses, and when I was there, I was communicating with the people, but I was not someone who is going to be active in some social media group. I was not someone who is going to allow those people to know about me and so on. And this may not be only the Aquarius things, but it may be like, it's kind of hard to say why we do not want to open, but it's probably, some kind of fear of rejection or, something of this nature, because it's like, as I said, that I feel to be intelligent in one way, but I feel to be stupid in some areas. And where I feel to be stupid, I try to hide it as much as possible. I do not want you or someone to see that I am stupid. I do not want to, tell you that I do not know who is DiCaprio. I know who is DiCaprio, but I may not know someone who is equally famous. But yeah, so I am like afraid of judgment, afraid of rejection, and I need someone, who I can see that is not judging. I am able to open to people who don't judge or who judge very, very little. But when there are people who judge you based on, anything, I am not going to open myself, I may had, and I still may have, driving anxiety, even though I am driving daily and I made more than 100,000 kilometers and so on. But I had driving anxiety. Driving still can make me anxious, which is something that most men don't have. And I am not going to open up about this with anyone, I have few friends, I have few family members that I am, able to be open about this. And, right now I make YouTube and, I don't have views, so I don't consider this to like telling someone, but also this is not that personal. But this is something that I would be afraid of judgment, I would be afraid of rejection, and that's why I keep my distance, because when you, for example, open to someone and you are going to tell them a lot of things about you, and then they disappoint you deeply, it can happen. It doesn't. It's not only Aquarius thing, but Aquarius we may have this a little bit more. Just one thing is that I am a January Aquarius, and January Aquarius may be different than February, which we can talk right now about. But yeah, I am 24. If someone want to know details, but yeah. One thing that I noticed about January Aquarius versus February Aquarius in general is that I find that the February Aquarius are more extroverted, they are more, crazy, they are more, weird and so on. And January Aquarius may be a little bit more quiet, little bit less extroverted, and so on. One more time, this is just a general thing that I have noticed and that I have, I watched videos about it, and, I think that it may be the case. One of my Aquarius friends is the guy who was who lost the driving license and so on. He was maybe most extroverted person that I have ever seen. He was my neighbor and he was able to speak with anyone about anything, anytime, and yeah. And for me, it's it's hard to speak to with the strangers. it takes time for me to, trust someone or to be able to say more than just hello when I meet my neighbors or something. And he was someone who was everywhere with everyone. He knew everyone. When we went somewhere, he knew that person, and and so on. So I think that this February Aquarius may be more extroverted than the January Aquarius. Okay? The other thing is that Aquarius is considered to be one of the weirdest zodiac, and this may have to do something with the freedom of being like, I am going to be who I am. If I allow to have weird t-shirt with the aliens, or if I allow to dress myself in a weirdly way, or if I have some weird opinions or something, I am just going to be who I am. So maybe we are all weird, all zodiacs, but Aquarius is more willing to express this weirdness, and yeah. And maybe, Aquarius may be a little bit, special in being weird. And it may be that as I said, that February Aquariuses, they may be a little bit more extroverted. So they may be weird in a way that they speak. And January Aquariuses, they may be more quiet, and they may be weird how quiet they are or something. So yeah. One more thing that I have noticed about the people who are Aquarius, and I have seen this as a negative trait sometimes, that Aquarius sometimes is too objective. That when you have a friend who is Aquarius and you are not right, he is going to tell you that you are not right, and he is not going to be on your side when he doesn't feel that you are, that it's like fair to be on your side. I am going to give you an example. One more time with this friend of mine, with this neighbor. As I said, he was very extroverted and he had a lot of girls, He did not consider them girlfriends, but they may had considered him as a boyfriend. But he had like 2 or 3 main girls, and one would come, then she would leave, then the second would come, then she would leave, and then the third would come, and so on. So he was like playing in this way that he had like many girls, and he was like living this life that he is not going to have one girlfriend and marriage or something, but he is going to have more girls. But obviously those girls, they didn't know, or at least he was trying to hide it as much as he could, and he was like, he had so much stress about that they are going to meet each other and so on, and things of this nature. I was like not judging him, not being jealous or anything. I was like, okay, that's how he lives, and I found it very funny. So yeah, it depends, but he was very, very funny guy. But the thing is that he had these girls and he was like, we can say, cheating on them. But once it happened that one of his girls had some kind of affair or something with her colleague, and I was in his house, we were, drinking beers and so on, and he was saying that she is such a hoe and so on, and he was like talking bad about her and so on. And I was like, I am not going to be in here and talking bad about that girl, because you have 3 girls or more and you are constantly like cheating on them and so on. And then once one of them is going to do the same, suddenly she is the bad one and you are the good one, you know? I was not like, I am wishing you that something like this happen. Not, of course, but I was like, I am not going to be with you talking bad about her because in my perspective it's like you did this thousands of times and she did it once, and yeah. So I was like, I am here for you. If you need company, if you need something, I will be here for you no matter what. But I cannot lie, I cannot pretend that right now she is a hoe and so on and you are the good one, you know? And he was angry that I am not on his side. But how can I be on your side, you know? Complete different thing would be if he had a girlfriend and he wouldn't be cheating on her and then she would cheat on him. That would be a complete different story and I would be there with him talking about her, that she is whole and so on, without any hesitation, you know? Also, if he would be devastated in some way, I could get over my ego and pretend that I am on his side, but I wouldn't be able to be really on his side when he was doing this all the time and suddenly she did something like this, you know? But it was also my other friend. He had many girlfriends and like not at the same time, but he was cheating like to all of them and so on. And then once he found a girlfriend that he was not cheating on, she cheated on him, you know? And I was like, you know, like it's very hard for me to not be objective even though that you are my friend, you know? It's not that I am wishing you something bad. Of course not. I am not wishing you even if you are doing bad things or, you know, not correct things. I am not wishing you that the same thing is going to happen to you, you know? But when that thing happened to you in some way, it's hard for me to be like, you didn't deserve this. You are innocent and she is, you know, and so on. So, yeah. And I have seen this a few times that people were talking about the Aquarius in a negative way, that the Aquarius, when was some kind of situation like so, that the Aquarius was not on their side, you know? So yeah, for me this is like hard to say if this is something right or wrong, but this is for me like being true to myself and you know, like I wouldn't do it differently, like this is how I view things. I try to see things as objective as possible. If needed, I could pretend to, you know, be on your side. And if you would be someone who is innocent and then they do something to you, I am 100% on your side. But yeah. Okay, a few more things. So for example, sometimes people say about Aquarius that we may have a big ego, that we think that we know everything, and I think that this may be true because I had a lot of ego, like spiritual ego and so on. I still have a lot of ego, but hopefully little less. But as we are, or maybe in general, in some way intelligent, more maybe than average zodiac, we may think that we know everything best, you know? And yeah, right now I am very open-minded to the possibility that I may be wrong so many times. I know that I don't know so many things about the universe, about the history, and so on. But I had a lot of this ego, and I still sometimes have a lot of this ego when some people are talking about this, and I think that they are incorrect. I'm like, you are wrong and I am right. So yeah, and yeah, but it is something that we all have. We all have ego. It's not only the Aquarius, but we may have the ego with our knowledge, with thinking that we know more than other people, and things of this nature. Okay, so yeah, I am going to slowly finish this video. There are probably many things that I forget to say. I may create a part 2, but probably not. But yeah, one thing that right now came to my mind is that they say that sometimes they hate about Aquarius, especially when it's like girlfriend or boyfriend, but maybe this is more about the men, I don't know, that we sometimes treat everybody equally, and it may be the case because we in some way love equality, we love fairness, and sometimes when we have girlfriends, for example, we may not treat them that much specially as opposed to our friends or someone. But yeah, I can see this on myself that I am maybe not like girlfriend, but friends trying to treat them in some way equally. And I have seen like videos about this, but this is something which is kind of hard to say if it's like true characteristic sign or not. Okay, so yeah, basically this was my opinion about Aquarius, being Aquarius. This is very general, and as I said, I am not into the astrology. I am open-minded that all of this is just product of our imagination, and there is not such thing as Aquarius, Libra or Scorpio or something. But I would say that there is something about this, but it's hard to say. Also, I have no idea about other zodiac signs, so I cannot tell you anything about Libra, I cannot tell you anything about Virgo, and so on. So I am not much into this. And also I try to treat people not based on their zodiac signs, but based on their behaviors, based on how good they are, how they are willing to help, and so on. So I only notice the Aquarius people because I am trying to see if they are similar in some way to me or not. Last thing right now that came to my mind, which I observed the most about the Aquarius, and I almost forget, that I would say that this may be with that being humanitarian, but we love to give, maybe not all of the Aquarius, but I seen this in January, in the February, that we love to share, we love to help, we love to give, but this also has a bad like part of the coin, or like a bad side to this, and that's, sometimes we may be helping someone and he is not or she is not appreciating this, or we may be helping someone every time, but that person is not willing to help us back, and we may be like helping, and then when we need help, not willing to help us, we may shut the person down and don't speak with the person, and so on. One example is with my younger sister. I was like, she was maybe 18, I was 27, 28, I don't know, and I was helping her when I could. Like, I wasn't helping her every day, every time, but when she needed someone, when she needed that I take her somewhere with the car, when she wanted to borrow the car, I was there helping her, I was there willing to help her, and so on. And then when I needed help 2 or 3 times, she told me that you are taking a lot. And I was like, I am taking a lot, you know? I helped you maybe 50 times during last month or year, or I don't know. And when I need 2 or 3 times help, you will tell me that I am taking a lot, you know? Completely different thing would be that right now I cannot, or I don't have time or something. But when she told me that I am taking a lot, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Unless you are in a real trouble or something, I am not willing to help you more. Like if you really need help, I will be there. But if it's like small thing that you need to take somewhere or something, I'm done. I'm done. Like that hurt so much that I was like, no more, you know. And it's like this can be, you know, sometimes we Aquarius, we may be accepting things and so on, but when it's like too long, then we are like, we may like explode, and then that's it, you know. And in my experience, it may be that sometimes people are not going to talk with you for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and so on, but Aquarius may be not speaking with you for years, you know. When you cross the limit, we may be like, okay, it's over. And yeah, so it may also be why sometimes someone may see us as being cold, that we may be like, we lost interest in helping or something, and that's it, you know, like no way, no way more. But yeah, okay, I will finish this video. So this was just my opinion. You know, maybe you are Aquarius and you may have seen things that, you know, are similar to you. Maybe you are not Aquarius and you are just interested about the Aquarius. But yeah, I told you that I am not into the astrology and things like this. So you know that this was just my opinion, and yeah. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you are Aquarius, if you are not, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, or if there are some points that I didn't say or something. But yeah. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and goodbye.